Hey guys, Outdoor Prepper, welcome back to the channel. On the table today we've got a couple of different things, and probably first and foremost we have a power station. Now this could be any brand, it doesn't really matter. But what happens is folks buy a power station and they want to use it to power their fridge, their lights, whatever it is that they're interested in powering. And they want to expand the power stations, and so a lot of these companies sell proprietary expansion batteries. However, those can be really costly, upwards of $500, $600, $700, oftentimes just as much, if not more expensive than the power station itself. So people are always looking for other options to charge these up and expand their capacity where AC power is not available. So the typical way that people do that is they buy a 12-volt battery, then they take a connector like this, which is an XT60 to alligator clamps, and they connect the alligator clamps to the battery, and they plug in the XT60 connector, or whatever your power station takes, into the solar input, and that basically tricks the power station to charging from a battery while it thinks it's charging from solar. And there's nothing wrong with that, and it actually works, and I'm going to demonstrate that in just a minute. But the problem is you get a lower speed charging because you're only using 12 volts. So 12 volts into a power station is going to limit the speed and the wattage at which it can charge. The solution to that is get a second battery, a second 12-volt battery, and what you can do is you can wire them in series to keep the 100 amp rating, but now you're going to increase the voltage to 24 volts. And I'm going to show you just how much of a difference that makes when you're tricking the system to charging from solar from a battery. Now, as you can see, I pulled the camera in close. I picked up these two WattCycle batteries online. They actually come in a package, two of them for just under $400. I'm going to post the link to this as well. The reason I picked up these batteries is kind of simple. Every video I make regarding batteries, I try to use a different brand and a different problem that we're going to be solving, because I want you to see different hardware from different companies so you can maybe see what works best for you in terms of the hardware and the way that we're approaching a problem. Now, I like the WattCycle batteries for a few reasons. Number one, these are the mini batteries, so they're actually really small. They're very easy to pick up and carry. They're not going to strain your back and they're not going to strain your wallet. And in addition to having two 12-volt batteries, I can make 24 volts, or if I need a 12-volt battery, I have one, and in fact, I even have two. In my personal opinion, you can buy a 24-volt battery, but I prefer to have two 12 volts because it just gives me so many more options, whether that's hooking this up to a 12-volt inverter, a 24-volt inverter, using it as an expansion battery, using it for a trolling motor on a boat, an RV, an off-grid setup. I just personally prefer the 12-volt batteries. But looking at these batteries, what we can see is that these are the mini versions, so really nice and small and compact, but they also have Bluetooth. And what I'm going to do here in just a second is I'm going to screen share so you can see the app and we can actually take a look at the batteries themselves. Now, as you can see on the app, I'm just going to go into guest mode here because I don't want to log in with any authentication information. I'm looking at the dashboard, and since I have two batteries sitting on the table, I can see both of the batteries. So I'm just going to go into the first one. We're going to take a look at it. We're just going to click the little slider switch to go into that one. We're now here at the dashboard, and we can see that it's at 13.1 volts. And in terms of state of charge, we're at 60%, and we can see that right on the top. So that is basically what I want to know right away, is how charged is the battery. Let's go back to the dashboard. So let's go back to Bluetooth. We're now going to switch over to the second battery, and we're connecting to that right now. We're at 61% state of charge, 13.2 volts. So that's perfect. But before we go ahead and do this battery test showing how we're going to wire these in series, we need to charge both of these batteries up to 100%. Now, moving in a little bit closer here on the table, I want to point out that when you charge a battery like this, or any LiFePO4 battery, it is very important that you use a LiFePO4, LiFePO4. These are lithium iron phosphate batteries. You want to use the correct charger. In fact, you have to use the correct charger. And what I like about these WattCycle batteries is it actually tells you right on the top, please use LiFePO4 dedicated charger. I can't tell you how many people buy these batteries and are totally unaware that you need a special charger to charge them. To charge these, we're going to take the two cables that come with it, we're going to connect them up to the ring terminals, and we're going to plug it in. This is 20 amp charger, this is a 100 amp battery. You do the math, it'll take a few hours to charge it from where they currently are at 60 and 61%. And as soon as they're charged, what we're going to do is we're going to take this very heavy gauge cable and we're going to connect these in series so we can charge this power station faster. Now, I just want to demonstrate the charger because it is really so easy to recharge these batteries. You're basically just going to take the screws off on the top, you're going to thread them through the actual ring terminal of the charger. Obviously make sure that your polarity is correct. We're going to negative to negative, positive to positive. I'm going to screw those in. Make everything nice and tight. You do not want any loose connections when you're dealing with the battery, because loose connections can cause heat and they can cause short circuiting. Then we're going to take our cable. We're just going to plug it into the charger itself. Then we're going to move this over closer to the outlet and plug all of this directly into the outlet, and we will see this come online real quick. Okay, I've moved this over to a chair right next to the outlet. I'm just going to go ahead and take this cable, plug it into the outlet. Let's give it a second to come online. Green light is on. Now it's red. Hopefully you can hear that on the camera. The cooling fan is on. And we're just going to let this charge. When this is fully charged up, that light's going to go back to green. So we are at 70% state of charge. There is no input coming in. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to connect these alligator clamps to the battery. This is not a permanent setup, obviously, but rather to show you guys here on the camera how this is going to work. And I'm turning this around. I'm going to plug this into the battery. And then once I plug it in, it is going to take a minute or so to sync up and to detect the input. But let me just take the camera off so you can see more clearly what's going on here. So right now the power station is charging, and it's charging at 101 watts from this individual battery. Now that's fine, but let's say that the power station is powering a load that's maybe taking 200 watts. Well, what's going to happen in that case is the station is not really going to charge. It's just going to take some of this power that's coming from the battery to help offset the capacity of the power station. But I want to be able to charge this faster and not have to wait around 3 hours to get the full. Okay guys, so what I've done here is I've positioned the batteries such that we have positive, negative, positive, and negative. Because what we're going to do right now is we're going to wire these batteries in series. Now there's two different ways you can wire batteries. There's parallel, which basically means you're going to take the batteries like this, and you're going to go positive to your device, and negative to your device. And what that does is it maintains the 12 volts, but it ups your amperage. Now if you wire them in series, which is what we're going to do, you go negative to positive, you connect those two together, and then your device, the negative goes here, and the positive goes here. And you're going to maintain the 100 amps, but you're going to jump the voltage to 24 volts. And you're going to see at 24 volts how we're going to charge that power station significantly quicker. So obviously when you're working around batteries, be very careful. You don't want to cause any shorts or have any issues, because these are very powerful batteries. After all, they are 100 amps each. But what I'm going to do right now, and we'll do this together, is I'm just going to connect the negative to the positive. And you want all these connections to be nice and tight. You don't want any loose cables that can cause overheating or shorting. Keep all your connectors nice and tight. But now that these are tied together, let me go put the power station here on the table, and then we're going to take the alligator clamps and we're going to connect them up. Let's see what happens. Okay, so what I did here was I just spun the batteries around. That way this cable is protruding to the back, so I have a little more space to connect it here. We're going to take our alligator clamps again. I'm coming around back here. We're going to go positive to positive. We're going to go negative to negative. Just making sure those are tight. And now we're going to take the XT60. We're going to plug it into the power station. And I heard the click. Let me just lower the camera so we can hopefully see what is going on the screen here. All right, now that we've lowered the camera, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You can see before we were pulling about 101 watts, 102 watts. We're now charging at 203 watts, and we have significantly reduced the amount of time that it's going to take to get this power station to full capacity. I know I said this at the beginning of the video, but the benefit to having these two batteries is you can use batteries individually for different items, and then when you need more power, you just tie them together. Whereas if you buy a 24 volt battery, you're stuck with the 24 volts. So if you need a 12 volt battery, you can't use it for that. Additionally, a lot of folks have reached out and they've said, well, why don't you buy 24 volt inverters? They're more efficient. 24 volt batteries are more efficient. And the answer to that is yes, I agree that they are slightly more efficient. However, the average person has more uses for a 12-volt battery, and you can just tie them together with one cheap $6 heavy gauge cable, and now you have a 24-volt battery. So that's just my personal opinion. And then obviously if you do have a problem with one battery for whatever reason, maybe it gets run over by a car, you don't need to replace the whole system. You just replace the one battery that you may have had a problem with. Now, this is my first experience with the WattCycle batteries. I like these a lot. I like that they are so small. I like that they have Bluetooth. And Bluetooth is great because let's say you have a power outage and you're charging up that power station with your batteries, but you want to know how much longer runtime you have. You just go right into the app, you look at the capacity of the battery and how much is left, and you can calculate it super easily. Again, I said this earlier too, make sure you buy a LiFePO4 battery charger. Now I have several different LiFePO4 battery chargers, but as a matter of practice, whenever I buy a new battery from a new brand, I like to buy their charger because I do like to keep all the equipment similar, and I also like to test out their chargers. Now, as you saw, we hooked this up to the charger and plugged it in. There were no issues at all. It charged both of these batteries just fine. I do want to point one more thing out because I often take it for granted that I know a lot about these types of batteries and not everybody does, but these are LiFePO4 batteries. So what that means is they're lithium iron phosphate batteries. They are not lithium ion batteries, which are the ones that you read about on e-bikes that are catching on fire and blowing up and burning down houses. These are a lot safer. These batteries are rated for roughly 3,000 to 4,000 charge cycles or 10 years. And at 10 years, what that means is you've reduced your capacity to about 80%. It doesn't mean the battery stops working at 10 years. You've just lost about 20% of your capacity by the time you reach year 10. Now, in terms of the size, I do want to show you just how compact these batteries are. This battery is about 8.5 inches wide, long, by 6 inches wide, by 8.5 inches high. It's a very small battery. The strap is included. Very easy to pick this up with one hand. You can pick both of these up. It is not a heavy battery in any way, shape, or form. And the fact that there's two of them just makes it so much easier to transport them and move them. Now, in terms of capacity, I get a lot of questions. People don't really know how many watt hours does this battery have. Pretend this wasn't here for a second. You're just going to multiply 12.8, which is the voltage of the battery, by the amps, and it's going to tell you the watt hours, because not all batteries advertise watt hours on them. They just tell you the volts and the amps. So each battery is 1,280 watt hours. Combined, you can see that is well over the capacity of the power station. And just again, as an example, this portable power station that I have here that we charged with it, this power station itself is only rated for about 1,040 watt hours of power. So just one of these batteries is significantly more powerful than this entire power station. I really hope this video is helpful. This is about the 4th series of battery videos that I've made, and in each video, like I said, I try to demonstrate a different product and a different use case scenario so that you can make a really informed decision. I am very happy with these WattCycle batteries. The price was great. 2 of them under 400 bucks. I picked up the charger separately. All the links are going to be in the description. And as I say in every video, if you have questions, please ask them. If you have comments, please leave them. I want to hear what you do. Maybe you do something different. But if you want information on these, I own them. I spent my money buying them, so I would be happy to help you make an educated decision if this is something you're interested in. My opinion, I would definitely go for this, and in fact, I did go for it. I'm very happy with them. Thanks for watching. I will see you on the next one.